Hey guys, welcome back to Chaos Core Tech. My name's Garrett, and this is the 5,000 subscriber special.
10,000.
Wait, what?
10,000 subscriber special.
When did that happen?
You took so long on this project that we hit 10,000 subscribers.
Well, crap. Hey guys, welcome back to Chaos Core Tech. My name's Garrett, and this is the 10,000 subscriber special. That's right, it's finally time. I finally got it finished. I've been working on this thing for a very long time. As you can tell by the little bit before this, this was actually supposed to be my 5,000 subscriber special, but time and printer issues and just a bunch of stuff got in the way from actually finishing this thing. But it's finally here, finally done. So this is normally the part where I go into time-lapse mode and show you all the footage of me creating this thing, Chelsea painting it, and talk a little bit about it. But I'm an idiot and I accidentally deleted all the modeling footage for this guy, all the printing footage. I still have Chelsea's post-processing footage. But I guess that's why I can't be trusted to do long-term projects like this. Because while I'm trying to archive and be responsible and keep all my old footage, I delete the stuff that I haven't actually used yet. So I can't show you that, but I can show you the files in Fusion 360, which is what I used to create this. And the process that I used is really pretty simple. I found an image that was decently straight onto this thing, so I could pretty much just trace it. I started out by drawing a line right down the middle and then just tracing half of it so I could revolve the whole thing around, since most of these things are cylindrical. And it worked really well, and I just added a few things like these little buttons here. And these areas where it's sort of grooves all the way around, I basically just created one of those and then patterned them all the way around. And when you combine those few things, you've got everything you need to make the staff portion of this. So not very difficult at all. Where the challenge actually came in was how these pieces fit together. So a big problem when you're creating props like this that are going to be big, they're going to take multiple pieces to print. When you put them together, seams are hard to cover up. And they can be a huge headache. But what I did here is I actually made all of these pieces slot into each other. I have these pieces named A to whatever they ended up being. I can't remember exactly how many pieces. But you assemble them in that same order. And all the pieces will fit almost perfectly into each other. And then there's just a hole all the way down the center to put a pin or something through to hold it together. So that way there's no seams to cover up, and it's actually a bit stronger because, one, there's more surface area to glue, and there's not just a single weak point along this whole thing. Now let's talk briefly about the pins. So if you notice in there is a pin file, and you can print that and assemble this whole thing with those, which is what I did originally. But I just found there was a little bit too much flex in there. So if I were to hold it out, it would just bow on either end. It wouldn't break, it just looked like a very limp staff. And I've heard they make pills for that, but I was a little too proud. So I went to my local hardware store and just bought a little steel rod to go all the way through. The hole that goes all the way through this thing is actually a 10mm by 10mm square, so just anything that you can fit in there will serve you well. Now I printed the entire staff on my Vinci 1.0 Pro, and I could just never get that thing to print 100% perfectly. So there are some issues with the print, it's not perfect, but I mean overall it's not bad. I think I would like to go back and redo this at some point in the future. And I was actually able to print this guy in one piece because of my new CR10. So it's roughly 300 millimeters tall, which the Da Vinci's build height was only 200. So I would have had to split this in two pieces, and there would have been a pretty noticeable seam in there, especially since it lights up. Now this is transparent green PLA. We actually used Hatchbox for this. I will put a link down in the description. But I imagine any translucent, transparent green filament would do this just fine. I actually wish it printed just a bit darker, but overall I think the effect is really cool, and especially the way that it radiates up to the top here, it really looks like Kryptonite. And when the centerpiece blocks out this middle, it really looks cool. I didn't feel like going through the hassle of getting an Arduino and wiring up LEDs and stuff like that, so I just went with the easier and cheaper option and got some LEDs off of Amazon. And these are super cheap. I'll put a link to these down in the description as well. They come with a little battery pack. It's pretty small, and there's just a little switch, turns it on. We got some super bright green LEDs. And then for this, I just printed it with 0 infill and no bottom layers. I did do about 8 outside layers, and I found that worked really well because, one, this thing is solid, and two, the extra layers really help diffuse the lights a bit. And then as far as painting and everything goes, my wife did a bit of sanding, lots of filler primer and stuff like that to smooth it out, And then she actually hit it with spray paint to get the basic color. And then she came home and used a paintbrush and acrylic paints to get these black areas on there. And just to make it look a little bit grimier and like it'd been used, a little bit of weathering. So overall, I think it's a really cool effect. Now let's check this out with the lights off. Oh yeah, that's really cool. I like how it lights me up. Hey guys, so before we wrap up, I really wanted to acknowledge the milestone that we've just hit with 10,000 subscribers on the channel and say a giant thank you guys who watch my videos, leave comments, interact with me in any way. I appreciate it immensely, and it's just kind of flooring to think how many people that really is. Because in terms of YouTube, 10,000 is not a lot. I am still below what most people consider a small creator. That's totally fine, that's the way that the platform is, and that just means I have space to grow. But when you think about the number 10,000, that means that roughly 10,000 people have watched one of my videos and clicked subscribe because they liked it for some reason or another. If I could just step outside right now and see 10,000 people, that is just an insane amount of people. And that is just really crazy to me, because I'm just some nerd in the middle of Nebraska who likes to make toys with this 3D printer. So I'm constantly humbled by you guys, and I can't express how much it means to me that you guys watch and interact. And I just really hope that I can give some of that back, and somehow my videos are helpful or at least entertaining. And every time I hit one of these subscriber milestones, I always like to mention 2 other creators that I think are doing really cool things, just so I can share the love and send some of it their way. So the first is Tessa from SparkyFace5. I will put links down in the description to her YouTube channel, her Twitter, and I believe she has a Patreon. She is a designer as well, and I think she just upgraded to the full ZBrush. She's been using ZBrush Core for a bit, so we're both in the weeds trying to figure out that beast of a program. And she just makes some really cool things, and she also occasionally prints them out and paints them. So go down there and give her some love. And the next guy is named Carmelo. He is also a 3D designer. He's been using ZBrush for a while now. He's really good. He posts pictures all the time on Twitter of just different crazy things he's made in ZBrush, and he seems just like a genuinely nice and cool dude. So check down in the description. I think Twitter is where you'll find him most actively, but I know he has a YouTube as well, and he also has a Patreon. So go show them some love, and then let's get back to the spear. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this, and once again I apologize for losing all of that footage, but if you want to download these files and make one of them for yourself, I have links down in the description to the Thingiverse and Pinshape pages where you can find all of these files. And then if you're wondering about anything that we use to make this, there are affiliate links down in the description as far as like paints and airbrushing stuff. And I'll also throw in a link down there and up in the corner over here to a video I made a while ago where I made 2 different versions of Batarangs, and those are pretty cool. So if you're a Batman fan, definitely check those out. And then if you end up making one of these, tweet me a picture. I would love to see what other people come up with for this. Alright guys, well thanks for watching, and until next time, keep creating.